Hi everybody, welcome to this week's webinar. Um, this week we're doing irresistible offers. It's all to do with making money online, and as usual this is applicable to any business. We're not selling a particular business here. What we're just trying to do is get you to understand the elements of marketing online so that you can be successful, so that you can actually join the 3% that are making 97% of the money online. 3% is a small number. It represents quite a few people, but just let me turn off my monitor just a moment. There we go. Uh, um, and as I say, it's for any business. The principles are exactly the same. I've been involved in marketing for over 40 years, and people sometimes tell me that marketing has changed. It's not, it's the same. Some of the tools have changed. We've got different tools now, tools that we didn't have years ago. Some of the things that we did years ago, like using yellow pages, are now obsolete. But the principle behind it is the same. It's just that we're using different tools. We're using social media. We're using search engines instead of yellow pages and this sort of thing. So although times have changed and although the tools have changed, the principles are the same. And it doesn't matter whether you've got an online business or an offline business, or you combine both. You need to learn to market that business. And we're moving on to irresistible offers this week. But before we do that, I have a very short video for you that I found. You might want to turn up your speakers because the volume on it, unfortunately, isn't as good as it could be. But I'm going to play it now, and hopefully you will start to get and receive this video. Combine both. You need to learn to market that business. And we're moving on to irresistible offers this week. But before we do that, I have a very short video for you that I might want to turn up your speakers because the volume. People ask me all the time, they say to me, what is the secret to success? The first rule is trust yourself. But what is most important is that you dig down, ask yourself, who do you want to be? Not what, but who. And I'm talking about not who cares, it's only to be with you. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video. You can love Schwarzenegger or hate him. It doesn't matter. But those 6 rules: trust yourself, break some rules, don't be afraid to fail, ignore the naysayers, work like hell, and give something back are the secrets of success. So take it into your heart, take it into your mind as we go through the presentation today. Okay, so let's get back to irresistible offers. Let me find my slides and we'll move on to the next slide. There are 7 things you must master to be successful in your business. 1 is your mindset, 2 is traffic, the 3rd is leads, the 4th is the offer, which we'll be talking about today, and funnels, emails, and sales we're going to get onto in the coming 3 weeks. These are all important, but you need to learn to attract clients using irresistible offers. When we talk about offers, this is always very good. It's one of the basics that's been taught in sales and marketing for years and years and years, as long as people have thought about sales and marketing, I think. And it's the AIDA concept. And I've got attention there, attention, awareness. They're the same thing. You've got to attract people to what you're doing, first of all. You've got to grab their attention. And once you've grabbed their attention, you've then got to stimulate that into an interest for them to learn more. And in doing that, you've got to stimulate a desire for what it is you offer. And then you've got to have a really strong call to action for people to actually obtain what it is you are offering. And you're never going to sell to everybody. You've got to understand that. People get upset because they talk to 10 people and none of them buy. If you talk to 1,000 people, some of them are going to buy. But 10 people, you might well, I mean, if they are 10 well-targeted people that you know and they like and trust you already, and you know they want what you've got, you might make 5, 8 sales. But in general, the more people you talk to, the better results you're going to get, because nobody sells to everybody. And if you look at it here, they've broken it down as they're talking to 100% of people, and they're getting the attention or the awareness from 80% of those, and they're able to interest 40%, and they're able to stimulate desire in 20%, and actually get half of those 10% to buy. Now, whether or not that's a true breakdown or not, I don't know. It's not something that I've actually gone into, and it varies with your audience and with your product and with the way that you present it. But it's a good way of understanding that you are not going to sell to everybody, and making 10% of sales from your leads is probably a very, very good result in most cases. So there are 7 essentials you need for creating an irresistible offer. And I'm going to go through these in more detail, but we'll just list them here. 1 is the outcome, 2 is emotion, 3 is proof, 4 is value, 5 audience, 6 guarantee, and 7 belonging. And it doesn't matter what the product is, you are unlikely to be the only person selling that product. There are likely to be, if it's a really good product, there are likely to be hundreds, if not thousands, of people selling that same product. So you've got to wrap it up in a way that makes it more attractive. It's like if you are meeting your girlfriend and you put your hand in your pocket and you say, oh, here, I bought these the other day, and you pull them out with bits of dust and things, and you say, here, hold your hand out, and you tip that in, and there's a couple of nice little gold earrings with diamonds in them, and you said, "Hey, she's probably going to be very pleased with that." But if you'd have taken the trouble to put them in a little box, a little velvet box that opens up nicely, and you'd have given that to her so that she saw the box and there was a bit of anticipation, then she opened the box and they were nicely displayed with the diamonds twinkling in the light, she would probably have been more pleased. And had you wrapped it up in in some nice gift wrap with a little bow on it, like the picture here, and given it to her, then there's more anticipation. Oh, what is it? And it, taking the trouble to package it so nicely and wonderful, she would have been probably even more pleased with it. And had you put a little label on it saying, I bought this for you because you're always in my mind, and I love you so much. Please always be here for me. Then that label would have added value to the thing and made the whole package even better. Now, in the end, it's the same. It's a couple of diamond earrings, but the value has been increased by the way that it's done and by what you've done and what you've offered. And so it's the wrapping. You've got to learn to be unique. I mean, are you just another marketer, another CPA offer, another retailer, another seller of this, another affiliate, another associate, another distributor? You've got to be unique. You've got to be not just another. You've got to be you and powerful with why you're you. You've got to be unique. You've got to brand yourself. You can walk down the supermarket shelves and there'll be probably a great big aisle devoted to soft drinks. And amongst those soft drinks, there'll be the cheap supermarket versions of Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola or whichever cola. And there will undoubtedly also be Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola there. And undoubtedly, Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola will be more expensive than the supermarket brand cola. And yet, many people will buy the branded version. It may taste the same. There may be slight differences. More often than not, the tastes will be very, very, very similar, but the price differential will be very great. But people will buy the brand, and you've got to be the brand. You've got to be unique, not just another. You are not just another. You are unique. So that's important to get that over before we even start. So outcome. What's the outcome about? You need to make it clear to people what the outcome is. You've got to first of all decide what the outcome you want to be is. Okay, you've got to have, I think it was Stephen Covey said, you've got to begin with the end in mind. So you've got to let people know what the outcome is. You've got to let them have a clear understanding of what they're getting, what the result is. Show them a solution. The WIIFM, what's in it for me? That's what they're interested in. What's in it for me? You've got to make it clear right at the outset. Because if you don't, they're going to lose interest and they're going to be gone before you get to telling them what it is. So you've got to make the outcome very, very clear. And then you've got to deal with emotion. People buy on emotion. And then they use logic, and the logic is often contrived to justify the purchase. I'm sure there are times in the past when you've bought something that you wanted, that a little voice was telling you couldn't really afford, or do I really need it? But you wanted it. You wanted it, and you've bought it, and you've bought it, and you've justified buying it by saying, oh, well, it's because, or it's okay because it's going to save me some money here because I'm going to do this and get rid of that, or whatever it is. And the logic may even be faulty, but you've justified it with your own logic because it's something that you wanted. And that is what people do. They buy on emotion. They buy because they want it. They buy either to gain pleasure or avoid pain. And they're both very, very strong. And if you can tie them both in together, then that makes it even stronger, that emotion. You can say, okay, this is the benefits you're going to get. This is how you're going to enhance your life with this product. It's going to make you so much happier in this way. And if you don't have it, you're going to carry on suffering in this way. You remember all the things that have happened, all the bad things, all these horrible things that you're trying to get rid of. And now you can have this wonderful thing. So you're taking them from pain to pleasure. And if you can elevate both of them, then that's the way to go. And along the way, you're solving a problem, because the problem is their pain. That is their pain. And the solution is their pleasure. So when you can show them that solution, show them the pain, build the pain up, explain the pain, go through it and understand the pain, show them the solution, and that alleviates the pain, and that triggers that emotion, and people say, I want that thing. And then they'll justify the purchase. And how can you help do that? You need proof, social proof, stories. Stories sell. What's this? There's a little rhyme. Facts tell, stories sell. If you can tell a story about someone you know who was suffering with this, and they'd been suffering and it was affecting their life and their livelihood, and they were really in a terrible state. And then along I came and I gave them this, and they didn't really want it, but I convinced them to try it. And they were a bit reluctant, but they said they'd have a go. And then all of a sudden, they started to notice these benefits and this. And, you know, a week later, they came back to me and they said, I'm so glad that you made me try this thing, because it's really changed my life for the better. You can tell stories like that. That sells far better than saying this product will get rid of your back pain and allow you to live a comfortable, pain-free life. Okay, stories sell. Social proof is testimonials from people, people that have used it, that are saying to you, yeah, it's great, I'm glad I bought it. And you say, okay, well, I'm only just starting selling this, you know, I haven't got any social proof. Okay, find a few people that you know and give it to them and say, look, try this for 3 days for me and let me know what you think about it, because it's something that I think is the bee's knees, and I want just a few stories of people that have used it other than me, because I might be wrong. But let me know what you think, and try and be as positive as possible about it. Have an open mind and use it, and then let me know what you think. Okay, so you can get testimonials that way. Once you've sold some products, this is something I always stress: get back to the people that have bought it. Go back to those people that have bought the product and ask them how they are getting on with it. Okay, most of the time they're going to be saying, yeah, okay, really good. Sometimes they'll say, oh, well, I've not actually started using it yet. And you say, oh, why not? And then you can jolly them along, get them using it. You don't want people spending money on things that they never use, and that happens more than you can imagine. I track a lot of the products that I sell, and I know that people pay good money for things and often don't download them. And if they download them, they don't open them. And why? I don't know. But you need to get on to people and follow up on your sales, customer service. They'll appreciate it. And then when you've got something to sell in the future, they'll be more amenable to you offering them something else. They won't be saying, oh, I bought that other thing off them and I've still got it in a drawer somewhere, never even used it. They'll be saying, oh, this person really cares, they try. And so you'll get testimonials that way. And if you find somebody that doesn't like it, that's just as important. You want to find out why. You want to find out why and how you can get that put right. Okay? So follow up, get testimonials, social proof, very important. Value. Here we go. Change that. Make the value or perceived value greater than the cost. Okay? If you are offering something for $10, give them $100 worth of value. If you're selling something for $100, give them $1,000 worth of value. And if you're offering something for $1,000, give them $10,000 worth of value. It's important. The more value you give, it doesn't matter. The price isn't what is important. It's the value that that person perceives that they are getting. If you are selling something for, let's suppose you're selling a car for $10,000, and people will look at that car and they'll say, is that car worth $10,000? And it'll depend on whether it's polished up and looking shiny and they open the doors and they click close nicely, and when they get inside they have that sort of new smell. They start the engine and it starts immediately and it purrs away. It'll all depend on how they see that product themselves, the value. And it's not the cost. People will say, oh, I won't spend $10,000 on a car. But if you said, here's my Bentley that I bought the other day for $300,000 and I just want to get rid of it now and it's $10,000, do you think they'd find the $10,000? Of course they would. Value. Make the value or the perceived value greater than the cost. There are lots of ways of doing that. I've been into it in the past and I'll go into it again in the future, but you've got to be imaginative and think outside the box. How can you give more value? And make results easy to get. If it's something that you're selling that they have to use, provide them with cheat sheets or mind maps. I'm sure you've seen lots of occasions where that people have been selling something. This happens a lot with products online, make money products, or how to set things up, or how to use a diet plan. They'll say, and my free bonus cheat sheet. Okay. Just makes it easier for the person to follow. They don't have to read a massive list of instruction and go through and struggle and watch hours of videos. They just have this little cheat sheet where it says, okay, open the box, take the lid off, take the pill, and that's it, or whatever, you know. Okay, that's a little bit of a silly example perhaps, but you know what I'm getting at. Cheat sheets, mind maps, anything that will make it easier for the person to get results from whatever they've bought from you. Okay, you can offer a done for you service. If you're offering something that maybe they have to set up, you can say, and if you want, I'll set it up for you for a nominal fee. This sort of thing, you know, whatever it is. Make it easy for the person that's buying to get the results that they want, that solves their problem. Value. This I go over and over and over and over again. I see so many times people trying to sell things to people that don't want to buy what they're selling. So many times I see people thinking of a product without thinking of where they're going to sell that product. It doesn't matter how good that product is, if the audience that you're presenting it to have no interest in that product, you won't sell it. If this was illustrated in Dale Carnegie, I think it was, in not Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, when he said, I love strawberries and cream, and I also love fishing, but when I go fishing, I don't bait my hook with strawberries and cream. Okay? You've got to find the right bait for the right audience, and you've got to be thinking about your audience before you ever start putting together your product. You've got to think, where can I find people who are already seeking this? They want it now. Because if you have an audience that are already seeking what you have and they want it now, you don't have to do any convincing. There's no hard sell. Okay? All you've got to do is say, look, you're looking for this. You want it now. I've got it here. Okay? And all you need to do then is put yourself in their shoes as to why they should buy it now from you. All you've got to do then is you say, I've got it here now, and this is why you should buy it. This is your unique selling point, your USP, it's called in short. You'll see that mentioned a lot in marketing. Your unique selling point or unique selling proposition, something that makes it different, something that gives them a reason to buy from you now. There can be savings, it can be for a lower cost. There can be incentives offered, extra bonuses, get this with it, like the cheat sheets, for example. Or you can be offering lots of other things, or you can even work with other people selling similar products and say, buy this now and I'll introduce you to so and so, and he's giving a discount off his product for my customers. And what you do is you set up a joint venture with them, and he does the same. He says, you can buy this now and I'm going to set you up with him over there who's got his product at a special price just for my customers. Okay, so you can include incentives and introduce urgency. Buy this now at this price because, or I've only got 27 of these, when they're gone, they're gone. The bonuses here that I'm offering, I'm only allowed to offer for 3 days. Urgency. Okay, you've got to add some urgency in. Do it now. Why should they do it now? Why must they take action now? What are they going to get? Why should they buy from you now? Okay, so that's your audience. You look for the audience. Don't just try selling your product. You know, if you've got something to sell, what's easiest? Is it if you're selling shoes? No, let's if you're selling, I don't know, if you're selling hamburgers, let's say hamburgers, when is it where are you going to find people looking for what you want? Okay, maybe when they come out of a factory at lunchtime. Okay, they're looking for food, and if you've got your hamburger van parked right in front of the thing there, it's easy for them. They go to you, bang. Okay, they're hungry, ready for what you have. If it's a factory that only employs vegetarians, you don't want to be selling hamburgers there. You know, you want to be selling salads or veggie burgers or whatever. Audience seeking what you have and want it now. And put yourself in their shoes. Empathy is important. Guarantee. The bigger and better the guarantee you offer, the better the product will sell. And I'm not talking just about 30-day money back offers here, because those really are expected pretty much today. Most of the things you see out there will be offering a 30 or a 60-day money back guarantee. Stand behind what you offer 100%. Give a guarantee that nobody else gives. Give them a guarantee like, we guarantee this product unconditionally for your lifetime and the lifetime of your children, who are going to carry on using it when you've long gone, or something like that. I don't know. But if you believe in what you're selling, offer them a magnificent guarantee. Offer them the choice of the secure. Take the risk away, is really what it boils down to. There is a certain amount of risk in buying anything. But if you can offer a guarantee that eliminates the risk, then you've got a winner. You've got a winner. And if you're not passionate about what you're selling, don't sell it, because you won't be able to stand behind it 100%. I get approached probably 3 or 4 times a day to sell these rubbish binary options systems. And, I wouldn't touch them with a barge pole. They offer the general public, I think you can sign up for these things and they'll offer you $250 for everybody that downloads their free software for binary options. They can't use the software until they set up an account with one of these people that fund binary option things, and they've got to put in money, usually $250, $300, $400. They are often enticed into putting in $1,000, and that's not refundable. They think this software is going to turn that $1,000 into $1 million in 3 months, like it says in the nonsense that they talk about. And they lose that $1,000, and that's why they're prepared to pay you $250, and that's why they come to people like me, who they know can promote this and do extremely well with it, and offer me $400 and $600 for a free download of software that isn't going to work. Okay, there's no way I could possibly sell that or recommend it, because I don't believe in it. There's a story. Little bit of a diversification, but you may have heard this. There's a story about a lady whose daughter was making herself ill because she had this addiction for sugar, and she was really causing the mother a lot of stress and strains, and the mother tried all sorts of things, and eventually she decided she was going to go and see Gandhi and get him to help her. And she set off, and I think it was a 2-day walk or something like that, to get to where Gandhi was. And when she got there, the people there said, "No, I'm afraid you can't see Gandhi without an appointment. He's far too busy." And she says, "I've spent 2 days walking here. I'm not going until such time as Gandhi sees me. So I'm just going to sit here until he sees me, and I'm going to keep asking you." So they said, "Well, okay." And she sat down and she waited and waited. And eventually Gandhi said, "What's that lady doing sat there?" And they told him, and he said, "Okay, I'll see her quickly." So he saw her quickly, and she said, "I've got this problem with my daughter who's got this sugar addiction, and she's making her ill. And I want you to help me to show me a way to stop her taking this sugar." And Gandhi said, "Okay." go home and come back in 2 weeks' time and bring your daughter with you. And that was it. That was all that he said. And he disappeared, and she had no choice. She had to go home. She spent 2 days walking home. And 2 weeks later, she set off with her daughter, and they came back to see Gandhi. And they came back to see Gandhi, and Gandhi said, nice to see you again. And is this your daughter? And she said, yeah. And he said, I understand you have a problem with an addiction for sugar. And she said, oh, well, I like my sugar. And he said, well, I'm here just to tell you to stop taking sugar now. So off you go home and don't take any sugar anymore. And the woman turned to Gandhi and she said, is that it? That's all you're going to do? You sent me to wait for 2 weeks and then come back here? Well, what's all that about? And Gandhi said, 2 weeks ago, he said, I was taking sugar. I can't tell somebody else not to take sugar when I'm taking sugar. And that was the philosophy behind it. And the power behind that, actually, as the end of the story, is that the girl felt the power of that and felt the power of Gandhi and his suggestions and his prayers for her. And she actually did beat the sugar addiction and stop taking sugar. But you see, what that illustrates is that if you're not prepared to stand behind what you do 100%, if you're not convinced about it, if you're not doing it, don't try and sell it. Don't look for the money, look for what value you can give with something that you perceive as being valuable. Okay, I digressed. Belonging. This is often overlooked, and you'll see some of the best marketers online doing this. They form communities because people are gregarious. They want to belong and they want to identify with others, and they love being in groups of people that are doing the same thing. This is why things like Weight Watchers work, because people can all get together and they've all got the same problems, and they're in this group and they can identify with each other. So if you create that belonging, you can offer a support forum or a Facebook private secret group or a Skype meeting room every week, or whatever it may be. You can add this in, introduce this sense of belonging, explain why this community is important to you and will be to them, that they are joining a group of people who are already enjoying this thing and happy to share their experiences and help them along. And okay, belonging. The top marketers use it. Most of the people online that are selling things don't use it. And that really covers what I have to talk about with offers. So we've got questions and answers time now, and I'm happy to take those on any subject connected with marketing or on anything to do with any of the programs that I run. As I say, this marketing training is there to help you build your business in whatever program you're in, whatever you're selling, whatever business you have. It doesn't matter. The principles are the same. So that is what it's about. And this is me. And I'll close this so that you don't just get my silhouette, although the silhouette may be preferable to this ugly mug. So if we've got any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions and answers. There's nothing in the chat section now, but we've been going since 10 to 27 now. Been going about 40 minutes. Some of these webinars have lasted an hour and a half. Some of them have lasted around about an hour. And this one will last as long as you want it to from now on, pretty much, depending on whether I get any questions or not to answer. Just while I'm waiting to see if any questions come in, on that guarantee thing, I run a program that I guarantee, and I guarantee that people will make $500 a month with that program. Now they have ongoing expenses with the program, which are $490 a month. But what that $500 a month means is that they'll be in profit. Okay, it's only a small profit, but it's a guaranteed profit each month, and it keeps them in business. It keeps their business rolling. So often people get involved in things. I've seen them involved in particularly multi-level marketing things where they buy $100 or $150 worth of products every month because they need that to keep in the plan. And after 2 or 3 months, they're spending this $150, sometimes more, sometimes a bit less. And they think, I've not made any sales. It's just costing me money. And although this product was pretty good, really. I mean, when I started with it, I thought, oh yeah, it was really great. But I've been using it for a while now, and it's not really that good. And it's costing me all this money every month. And so they drop out. And the average time span for that is 3 to 5 months. And what's sad about that is it takes 3 to 5 years for most people to build a business in multi-level marketing. So in 3 to 5 months, they've got no chance. And then the next thing I get from that is people say, oh, I don't want to spend 3 to 5 years building a business. You know, I want it now. And that is a strange attitude, because what have they got now? What are they doing? They spend 40 years working for somebody else in a job that will never create financial independence. They'll end up with a pension of 50% or maybe 2/3 of what their final salary was. And so they'll have less money to spend with more time to spend it when they eventually retire after 40 years. And yet they won't spend 3 to 5 years learning to do something that will change their life and their family's life forever. And some people can do it faster, but the average time is 3 to 5 years. And in surveys, people spend in 3 to 5 years well over 10,000. Most spend over 30,000, and something like over 25% spend over $50,000 in that 3 to 5 year period, trying to get to a point where they're making money. So how good is a 500 a month guarantee that stops them dropping out, keeps them going? I believe that is invaluable, and that comes out of my pocket, and it comes out of my pocket because I believe 1,000% in what I'm selling, and that and that is why you've got to be passionate about what you're selling, so that you can offer that sort of guarantee. Also, there's some news. I don't know who we've got here and whether they're members of Simple Fast Cash, which is another program I run. But I'm introducing a program there which is going to help revolutionize things even more. At the moment, we offer an amazing array of tools for less than 25 cents a day. That's hosting, autoresponders, split testers, all sorts of things. I don't know. The value, the sort of market value for those things, when you add them all up, everything that we offer, is around about $150. Oh, computer backup, all sorts of things, you know, that you go out there and spend $7, $10, $19, $20, $30 a month on, usually. There's about $150 worth of value we offer for less than 20 cents a day, $7 a month or $74 a year. And what we're going to be adding there is also a program where members will be able to earn an income without sponsoring or selling, because at present there is a $5 commission on a $7 a month sale and $60 commission on a $74 annual sale. So there is an opportunity to make money with that as well. But a lot of people say, oh, I can't sell, I can't sponsor, I can't do this, I can't do that. So we are in the process of putting together and sorting out now a way where members will be able to get involved and make money by just spending maybe 30 minutes doing a few simple tasks, and they will get paid for doing that. And the payment they receive will depend on their involvement in the program. So we'll be introducing that, and I think that's exciting. And it will also give people who genuinely don't have any cash. This isn't most people. Most people just don't have the belief. I mean, $7 a month isn't a lot for most people. But there are people in certain countries like India and Africa and Bangladesh and all this sort of country that $7 can be a week's wages. It can be a struggle. However, these people still afford a phone and an internet connection. So once again, it's really a bit down to belief. But there will be a way included in this for those people to do certain tasks that will enable them to earn a paid membership and pay that $7 for the first month. And if they promote this either as free or paid or whatever, then other people will also be able to do that. They can promote it as free, and if they promote it as free and they make they introduce 3 people, then those people also go through and do these tests and get to the paid level, then they will have their membership paid and make a small profit on it as well, with just 3 people that they introduce free that just do simple tasks. And of course that builds as it goes down, and the potential is really quite mind-boggling. So that's going to be interesting when we get there. I've got no questions from anybody here, and I don't know if you noticed, but I've got Qatar. I've been plagued with flu and cold. This isn't a problem because it it just means that I sound like I come from Liverpool or somewhere rather than Manchester. But I seem to have been plagued with these things, which normally I shrug off like that. I don't get colds, flu, catarrh, anything. But as you probably know, I've been a bit under the weather with them for a while. For the last week, I've been pretty good, and as I say, this is here now, but it's just makes me sound funny and makes me blow my nose a bit more. It's not a problem. It doesn't impact my life in any other way. And we've got no questions. I'm going to sign off then. We're going to finish a little bit early today, 3:36, as there are no questions. That's it. I'm going to end it now. I want to thank you for being here. God bless you all. And if you are in Simple Fast Cash, you may be missing a trick. I've got a download for you as well. I forgot. Here we go. This is a great book. Let me just put that up there for you. It's The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles, and I don't know whether you've read it or not. If you haven't, download it and read it. It was written 100 years ago. But it's still relevant today, and it is in fact the basis of what that best-selling book The Secret. It was the basis of that book there. So download it and read it if you've not already read it. and enjoy it. I almost forgot to give it you. I've got a little footnote just above the download button, and it says this book was published in 1910 by Elizabeth Town, and it's still in print after almost 100 years. It's over 100 years now. It was a major inspiration for Rhonda Byrne's best-selling book and film and book, The Secret. So, well worth a read. Just check the chat section. Nothing else there now. So I hope you enjoy that download. I hope you enjoyed the video at the beginning from Arnie Schwarzenegger. And God bless you all. Thanks for being here. I hope you found that helpful. God bless. Goodbye. See you next week. How do I stop it? There we go.